Greetings, everyone. A very warm welcome to Marketing Invisible. I am Tom Poland, beaming out to you from the sunny Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. Joined today by Jessica Osborn. Jessica, g'day. Normally I say g'day from down under, but I suspect you might be down under as well. Where are you hanging out?
I am as well, and actually on the Sunshine Coast, which is very unusual and ironic. We're here battening down for the cyclone that's supposed to be hitting the coast
Yeah.
sometime today, tomorrow. Who knows?
So, so normally my guest is from the other side of the world. I mean, literally on the other side of the world, and
Yeah.
in this case, Jessica's almost on the other side of the street. Uh, so we're both here on the sunny coast, and as she said, a cyclone Joseph is due to hit tomorrow, so we're all battening down the hatches, almost literally. But let's get on to something that's more interesting for most other people, which is, apart from our roofs flying off, trees being uprooted. Jessica is, so tell me, you're a degree qualified marketing strategist, and I got my degree from the University of Observation, but I think you're much better qualified than I am. Where did you get your degree, and what is it in?
Yeah, great. I actually started my degree in New Zealand at Massey University because I grew up in New Zealand, but I've lived in
Get out of
Australia.
here, so did I.
Yeah, oh, did you? There we go. Wow, all these synergies.
Yeah.
Um, But I kind of have the travel bug. I've always been someone that had the travel bug, so I left without finishing my degree at that point in time, went over to London, traveled for years, came back, dibbled and dabbled, and then I decided to finish it off here in Australia through Monash University. So
Ah.
I technically qualified through Monash with a Bachelor of Business in Marketing, and I've got psychology in there, and yeah, lots of fun stuff. So I was already working in marketing before I'd even finished it. So to me, it was like I just needed the piece of paper in my hand. But
Uh,
as you would know, I don't think it's really necessary in this kind of world.
well, and psychology is a big part of marketing, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's sort of two wings of the same bird almost. It's so I can understand how one would have, the psychology would have helped you with marketing. And
Mhm.
so your specialty, business coach for women with services businesses.
Mhm.
Do you say no to men if they're as good looking as me?
No, I
Why are you
do work
laughing?
in
Serious question. No, no, but I mean,
asking for a friend or
your target is women with service based businesses, but yeah.
yeah,
But joking aside, do you work with men who maybe
I do.
please?
Look, I do. And it's all about being the right fit, really. So I think it
Yeah.
was just that I tend to align and attract more women, and we tend to also have similar goals in mind, which is that we want more flexibility, that our lifestyle with business, that real business life balance is so important. It's often the reason why we went into business in the first place because, I
Yeah.
reached that age where I started having kids, and it was like, the whole corporate world, which I'd been in for 20 years, just suddenly was not going to be a viable place to be. And that I find that that's the same with a lot of other really experienced professional women. So they
Okay, that's a
tend to
great
be who I
background.
connect with.
Great background.
Yeah.
And you've got a couple of kids at home as well, like 3, including your husband, right?
Yeah, that's right. I have a 50-year-old, an 11-year-old, and an 8-year-old.
All right, I hope he never listens to your interviews. So let's rock and roll. The subject, folks, is how to attract high quality clients without cold outreach, and I could paraphrase that without the horrendously inefficient, ineffective, and bullshit
My pet
of
hate,
cold
honestly.
outreach. So
So
let's
ineffective.
let's start the clock. Time starts now.
Mhm.
Just question number one is, who is your ideal client?
Yeah, well, we pretty much just described her. She's got a coaching or consulting business, really has that vision to make a bigger impact either in someone else's life and other people's lives or with their businesses. And she wants to do it working part time, but making well over six figures, and really have that business life balance.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you want to do that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's have our
Okay.
cake and eat it.
And 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 folks, I kind of want to put a pin in this because you have to open your mind to the potential for this, because a lot of people understand the desirability of it, but they think, "Oh, maybe it's for other people. I don't know if I can really do that because I've been working one-on-one with clients and I haven't been able to scale. I haven't figured out the marketing thing." So all of these challenges have responses. They have adequate responses, and we're gonna unpack some of them now. So keep open to the idea that you can have the best of both worlds, because most people
Yeah.
jump out of the corporate cage like Jessica and I did, thinking, "Well, I want more time, I want more money, I want more freedom," and it ends up with less time and less money and less freedom. which really sucks. But I think
Yeah.
we've both been on a similar journey and found out there are solutions to these challenges, and it doesn't have to be that way. So, did you want to unpack anything more about the problem you solved? That's question two.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think you've touched on so many things that I wanted to dive into, because it doesn't have to be, I think the real thing about business is keeping it really simple, and it doesn't have to be something giant. And, we often come from that corporate world background where you think you need all this stuff and all these complicated systems, and you don't. Really the problem that I see most women who come and work with me, they're experiencing is they're just not attracting enough of the right clients. Like they may be attracting some, they might not
Mm.
actually be attracting any. They're relying on referrals. They're doing some cold outreach, or they're being told they've got to make all these phone calls, and they're just in this place where they're like, really want this business to work. I know I've got the goods. I know I'm good at what I do. I can help people. I just can't get the clients. And that is
Yeah.
like really the problem that they're having.
Well, you think you've answered question number three, which is the symptoms, because you described who you
Yeah,
identified.
there are a few more symptoms as well,
Yeah,
I
go.
would
Well,
say.
fire away, please.
Yeah, they tend to be working a lot, far more than they want to. The clients that they have would be high maintenance and probably really price sensitive. So if you're having these pricing discussions, or you're always feeling like you're too expensive and the negotiating's going down, that's a sign that you're just attracting the wrong sort of client that's not valuing what it is that you do.
Right.
Which is obviously preventing you from being able to charge what's appropriate and be able to earn the money that you want in the time that you want. So, yes, all of these things connect together, and that is a sign that we've got an issue there with the type of client that you're attracting.
It sounds like a lot of this is around confidence and positioning and pricing, all of those things attracting the right clients. But I'm probably digressing. So let me get back on track. Question four
Mhm,
is, you're working the people who sign up to become clients with you are the goal orientated. They want the lifestyle. They want to have a great business that's scalable to some extent. Um, they tend to be smart people that back themselves because they've started their own business.
mhm.
But they're gonna try a whole lot of stuff, but not all of it's gonna work. Let's save them some pain by me asking you what would be some of the common mistakes that your new clients tell you they've made before they found you?
Yeah. Love this question because I can save you years and years of time.
Right.
It is they tend to dive straight into the doing of marketing, thinking like I need clients, so I've got to get out there and just do stuff, right? So you can spend years finding platforms to be on, learning all these methods. Like, how do I do reels? Oh, now I must need to be on YouTube, or what else do I need? Like, maybe I need a TikTok channel and to learn how to dance or something. They literally spend all this time figuring out how to do the marketing, not realizing that the key ingredients of the marketing that actually make it work is what's happening behind the scenes. You
Mm.
alluded to it a moment ago. It's not really confidence, but it is positioning is one of what I call the golden trifecta. You need to have positioning that is so strong. This is a crowded market. You need to be able to be seen, but to be seen as a go to authority, not just another person in the crowd. Like,
Right.
how are you going to attract people if you're just the same and bland? And that's, I do a whole episode on that on its own. Then there's the offer. And then the other one is messaging. And when I talk about messaging, I'm not just talking about words, it is your visual messaging, it is the actions that you take. All of this communicates to people whether you're the right fit for them or not. And so those are the golden trifecta in the beginning before you even decide where you're going to go out and connect with people at, right? So many
Right.
people skip that. They jump straight to step 4. So that is
Yeah.
the
So
biggest mistake
it's the
a long
strategic
way.
stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah.
and often I think that's one of the reasons people jump to action is that they're action-oriented individuals, but also it's the thing they know how to do, and some of the guidance that people like you offer to clients is what they need to say, "Hang on,
Yes.
let's get some
Yeah.
of these questions answered first, and this is how you can answer them, and this is how you market test," and so on.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
skip
what
it
you see
to
online, like if you go online, you just see people doing all the marketing. And
yeah,
there's so many marketing, I'll say coaches out there who are specific to a platform or a style, and that's what they're telling you need to do. So it's nobody's fault that they make this mistake. It's literally just that they don't understand that they've skipped over some steps they didn't even realize were there in the first place. So
and
that's
and
fine, but we do need to get them done.
folks, the best advice I can give you for this is to find someone you trust, like Jessica would be a good start, and just shut out all the other noise. And
Mm.
just do what she tells you to do because it's like a recipe. And if you try to combine recipes, even if they're three great chefs, and you get Heston Blumenthal's and Jamie Oliver's and someone else's, Gordon Ramsay's recipes, and you say, well, I just picked the best out of all recipes, and the meal's going to be inedible.
Yeah.
So the trick is you find the person you trust, follow, in this case, Jessica's recipe, get the results, and then you can add a bit of seasoning or do whatever what else you want with it. But that
Mhm.
otherwise you just get confused, and it's paralysis by analysis, and people become, pardon mixing my metaphors, but like the deer in the headlights going, "Oh my god, I can't even move now."
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
let's flip it. I'm gonna press pause. I'm gonna cheat and press the pause on the timer. Where can people go to no, first question is a top tip. One thing that people could do who are listening to this that would take them a step in the right direction of not gonna solve the whole problem, but it might just get them started.
Yeah. Well, the very first place to start, as I mentioned before, your positioning, and you can actually do a fair bit of this yourself without the guidance. Obviously, I do have all of the steps within that to really help you if you need the guidance. But think about, really what is your actual expertise? I call it your expert zone in my programs. Like, find your expert zone. That is where you shine, not just what you can do, but actually where is your specific expertise that is of high value, that's really going to help somebody solve the problem that they think is of high value, right? And who you do that for. Because so many people go, "Oh, I help small businesses," or "I help mums." I'm like, what sort of mum? What age? Like, why? Like, what is the, let's get far more specific. That so many people don't do that because it's scary, it's hard, it's uncomfortable to get specific. And if you don't do this, then that's exactly why your business isn't growing. You've got to actually make yourself get uncomfortable. Like, let's go through the
Right.
process, find the thing that is your expert zone. That is my biggest tip. And you can do a lot of that yourself, really.
Do you find a lot of people don't do that because they think, "Well, but I can help other people too, so
Yes.
I'm gonna cut out a part of the market." What would you say to that? If someone
Uh-huh.
says, "Well, I would drill down a bit more, but I'm gonna cut out some of the market," like at the moment, well, not at the moment, but you target women who have a service-based business. You could probably
Mhm.
help a bunch of other people, but what do you say to
Yeah.
people who say, "Well, if I define it that much, I'm not gonna cut people out." What do you say to that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is one of the most counterintuitive parts of being in business. So don't rely on your logical mind, which is telling you more means more. More means vague, bland, not standing out, and definitely not being seen as the obvious choice or the go to expert. No one out there is thinking, I'm looking for someone with a giant CV with all these different things they can do.
Right.
They've got a specific problem in mind, they want to solve it. They're looking for the best fit for that. So you're not actually getting less opportunity by going narrower. You end up having more opportunity because you're suddenly seen as the right choice for people. So I
Yeah.
know that it sounds weird, and the only way to experience this is actually to do it. I don't know how many of my clients go, "Oh, I'm really afraid to narrow down," and then, hold their hand, help them do it. And then they're like, wow,
And
I'm
and
now working with
it
people I
becomes
really want.
simpler and easier and smoother because you increase the perception of relevance from the prospect's point of view, and also the idea that, you know, Jessica, you understand them. You're a mum, you've got kids, you've got your service-based business, you're surfing every morning. Okay, maybe we're not all doing that, but you get the idea is there's this, there's potential for empathetic connection and relatability. Okay, question 6, one valuable free resource. Ugh, where can people go to find out more about this?
So I've actually got a free training, and as you can probably tell, I do like to be
Do
very
you?
detailed and specific. So it's longer than an hour, but I promise it's under 2. It's called 5 Keys to Premium Paying Clients. And I really break down the 5 key elements that you need to have in your strategy so that you can attract those premium paying clients to
Yeah,
you,
and do you
and
have
that
a
you
where
can get
can
it.
people
Sorry,
go
do you
for
want me to
that?
tell you where you get it from?
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry. It's on my website at jessicaosborn.com/5 keys. That's the number 5 and keys.
So www.jessica, Jessica, Osborn, Osborn dot com /number 5 keys. It'll be under the video, but if you're listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher or whatever, that is jessicaosborn.com /5 keys. Last question, and we got 14 seconds left. What's the one question I should have asked you but didn't?
Yeah, I think probably like, why does this even mean that you don't have to do cold outreach, right? So if you get all this stuff done, how does that help you? And it's like, Look, if you can stand out as the person, they're already looking for you. So it means that you're able to attract them into your business. You do
Mhm.
not need to go out and do ineffective, time intensive cold outreach. And that's the last thing you want to do if you've got freedom, focused business in mind that, you want to be working part-time hours. Please don't be spending it doing cold outreach.
Perfect. Jessica Osborn, thank you so much, and stay safe from Cyclone Alfred.
Thank you so much, Tom. It's been awesome talking with you
It's been
today.
fun. Cheers.
Thanks for checking out our Marketing the Invisible podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. It's very much appreciated. And if you want to generate 5 fresh leads in just 5 hours, then check out www.5hourchallenge.com.